Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
Hello, glad you could join us again today. We're continuing on the subject of the spiritual dynamics of government. Now, with this, we begin our discussion on God's kingdom and Satan's kingdom and how they're structured. If you didn't get to hear that, I encourage you to go back a couple weeks ago and begin to check that out, because it really lays the foundation for what we're talking about. And the last couple days, we've looked at Ephesians 6:12 and saw the breakdown, if you would, of Satan's kingdom. Starting at the bottom, it's the principalities, then up to the powers, and then there's this rulers of the darkness of this age, that if you would, another way we could put it, they're the ones that drive whatever evil is unique to that time period. Throughout history, there's been a wide variety of evils that have been predominant at a certain point. And these evils overlap these jurisdictions of principalities and powers. And if you would, they have to work together with this. But then all of it is overseen by the spiritual host in heavenly places. And Satan's kingdom, that's the prince of Persia, the prince of Greece, and so forth, as an example from Daniel 10. Now, I want to read today from 2 Corinthians 10, beginning with verse 3, because Satan's kingdom is designed, his structure is designed to build strongholds. The presence of that spiritual host in heavenly places is not the stronghold. Let me say that one more time. The presence of a spiritual host of wickedness in the heavenly places is not the stronghold. The stronghold is the fruit of their work. And largely, that is designed to eventually come through government, especially on this level up here. Because when there's a change up here, as we see in Daniel chapter 10, there's also a change in government. Now, 2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds. You see, when Gabriel and Michael drove off the prince of Persia, the prince of Greece took his place. That didn't pull anything down, it just created a change. But here, the strongholds are things we are to pull down. Casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Now, with this, if you would, verse 5 is the process of building a stronghold. And the way we see the process is to look at it in reverse. The stronghold, because the way Paul's addressing it here, he's talking about pulling down the stronghold. So he's talking about an existing stronghold. But the way it got there are these steps, because you pull it down by removing the layers that Satan has built. On the flip side, the way Satan builds the stronghold is by adding layers. He adds these layers. And it'll help us understand this a whole lot better if we look at it from the standpoint of him building the stronghold. And in that way we can see how this actually plays out and the government participation in the building of those strongholds. Not that government always participates in it, but Satan's design is to endeavor to get government to participate in it. Because if you would, that is when that stronghold becomes institutionalized. It becomes extremely hard to get rid of that stronghold once government has sanctioned it. So we will break this down and look at those levels and how it gets built tomorrow. God bless you. See you then.